And then the end will come. How will it all end? Some 20 years ago, Stephen Covey wrote a very popular book, a must-read book for successful people. Those days, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And one of these habits is begin with the end in mind. Of course, Covey was talking about goals, long-term goals and short-term goals. The ends that Covey was talking about were the goals for earthly achievements and worldly successes. I have no problem with this habit, all good and all well. But as God's people, something is surely wrong if our eyes are not lifted up beyond the low horizon of this life and of this world. The ends that each lover of God, each follower of Christ must have in our mind is this: the end of our life and the end of this world. Of course, earthly goals have their rightful places too. But these must all be subjected under God. But these must all be superseded by the other two, the ends. And I must say, keeping these two ends in mind is not thinking negatively at all. No, it is not thinking negatively at all. To begin with these two ends in mind is not morbid thinking. No, it is not. On the contrary, when we are able to do this, to keep these two ends in mind, we will live truly victorious life on earth right now. Why? Why do I say this? Because God's the end is not really the end. God's the end is actually our beginning. Let me say this again. God's the ends are actually our beginnings. The end of this life is the beginning of a glorious, blissful life with God. Emmanuel, God's tabernacle now with us. The end of this world is the beginning of a glorious new heaven and new earth. No more pain, no more sorrow, no more death. God's the end is not really the end. God's the end is actually our beginning. Awareness. Do we actually know? Do we really know? Alternatives. What options do we have? The journey ahead of us, even as we march towards the end. Anticipation. Are we eager and longing? Are we looking forward to be with God? Do we love His return? Come, allow me to pray for you. Let us look to the Lord.